Hey guys, Sleepy Reader here. I thought I'd look at some of the stack of recent comics I've got just purely from the point of view of color. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to say about color. I don't have like a special expertise. I'm just trying to pay more attention to color. And I thought an interesting way to do it would be just look at the color in these books and not be reviewing other aspects at the moment. This is Earth 2, colored by Alex Sinclair. A name that seems vaguely familiar to me, so perhaps I've noticed that I've liked his coloring before. I definitely like the coloring here. It seems to work really well. It helps aids the artwork pop out for me. You know, even with the grays and the muck, it has an appealing quality. Yeah, I really like the color here. Not sure what else to say. It works well with the art, doesn't cover up the art. Makes me want to read this issue. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but it looks really cool. The artwork is cool to begin with, so it adds to the coolness. We get kind of a different tone in different places. Kind of back and forth, I guess, between these two different places. One that's all blue and one that has this kind of brownish gray quality, but has the superheroes popping out of it. So Alex Sinclair seems to be doing an excellent job. Excuse me. There's a very nice cover too, with a kind of green versus gray quality, which makes the green look like it's winning. And completely different is Danger Club from Image. Here the colorist Drake is listed on the cover. Yeah, Michael Rusty Drake. But he didn't do this first page. They brought in a different colorist to do this, give this Silver Age quality to their first page. But then the rest of the book is all Michael Drake. And to me, this is a coloring style that's a bit heavy-handed. I feel like I lose sight of the line work a bit. It has more of that 3D look, but I don't love it. The 3D, it almost makes it look like 3D plastic images to me or something. Like, I don't know, there's a certain plasticiness to it that sometimes I equate with certain bits of computer graphics animation on maybe the cheaper side of the computer graphics animation. So for me, some people seem to really like the coloring in this book actually, but for me it detracts a bit. I haven't read this issue yet, but I still really like Danger Club, but the coloring is a little bit of a deterrent. So, well, that's too bad, but it's just how it is for me. Different people have different tastes in coloring, obviously, just like art. Here, the colorist is not credited on the cover of this DC book, Dial H for Hero, but it looks like really good coloring to me, actually. This is probably a tricky book to color, very detailed artwork, and it has both kind of a moody, literary kind of and horror kind of feel and a kind of goofy superhero feel. And this is something that often I find comics trip over, is kind of nighttime scenes that become too dark. But here I feel like the colorist strikes just the right tone. We got a lot of dark background that gives us a nighttime feel, but we've also got fun colors that kind of pop. The color really helps your eye move through all these kind of somewhat scratchy images in terms of the art style. So I think the colorist really works well with the art and perhaps improves the reading experience a lot, and makes it even more aesthetically pleasing art-wise. I haven't read this issue, but I'm not. Oh no, I have read this issue, but I'm not going to say anything about the quality of the story or anything at the moment. But the color, this is really good coloring. So who's the colorist here? I don't think the credits are at the front. I kind of wish DC would put the colorist as one of the cover credits. In the back here, where we have the credits, we see the colors are Tanya and Richard Horry. So maybe a couple working together. That's interesting. It's a very unified look, and they do a great job. So let's see here. I hope the battery on my camera's not going to run out. Here's Revival, another Image book. I haven't read this at all. I picked up the first 2 issues after hearing a lot of people talk about it. The coloring is effective. It doesn't cover up the art, and it seems to change the mood depending on the page and what's going on. But I can't say I love it. It's just something in the, I don't know how to talk about color palettes or color choices. Something in just the choices in these colors are less appealing than I like this page a lot better, but and it also is dealing with a lot of dark nighttime scenes, and I think it does that very well. This colorist is he credited on the cover? Maybe not. No, the colorist is Mark Englert. So I like him okay. He's a yeoman effort, I suppose. It's fine enough, but not my favorite coloring. Here's an interesting one I just sort of had in the pile. Even I haven't read this yet. It's maybe half a year old. Avengers Assemble #1, and they do list the colors because I recognize right away his name, Mounts, Paul Mounts. I've been noticing his color on and off over the years, and I think to a large degree I first noticed him coloring the Ultimates with Brian Hitch and Mark Millar. I really liked that run, and I think he's a very good superhero colorist. Both gives you that colorful excitement of superheroes, but makes use of the modern technology and has kind of a complex mix of colors. But you never lose your way, and the art is always enhanced rather than covered up. Here's a great example. I think you've got basically this orangey background, the green of the Hulk and some other things, and then this bluish white of this ice creature. It's all really well balanced, and the color just makes the artwork more exciting, I think. So Paul Mounts is definitely, I think he may be kind of the classic Marvel colorist at the moment, but I might be wrong about that. But I definitely like this Paul Mounts work. It seems perfect for superheroes. Animal Man, Rot World. Here, I immediately like the color in this book. It enhances the artwork. It makes everything look more exciting. The colorist is having to balance sort of a garish superhero kind of book along with kind of a horror, Rot World, apocalyptic kind of feel, and it really works well. And then I have read this one, and some pages are done by a different artist. These pages, they're almost a month earlier, following Buddy Baker, Animal Man's family's adventures, and the tone is different. The coloring is different. It's the same colorist, but you immediately know you're somewhere different. Here, if you can see the 2 pages side by side, we're in the past and then in the present. It's a very different world, the sort of superhero apocalyptic world of Buddy Baker, and the slightly more subdued but still very strongly colored world of his more mundane family. So yeah, I really like this coloring. Did I say who the colorist was here? Did I get the credits? The colorist here is Laverne Kinderzierski. Lovern. Anyway, very good colorist. There's a lot of colorists. You get the impression that the days when one colorist would, do a third of all the books for a comic book company are long gone. It's a more complicated artistic endeavor now. This colorist is Nathan Fairbairn. This is the other part of Rot World Swamp Thing. It's similar to the Animal Man coloring, but somehow it doesn't seem quite as strong to me. These are snap judgments and very subjective. Not a bad coloring at all, but next to the Animal Man, it doesn't feel as strong. Maybe it's harder to deal with all the green of the Swamp Thing. There's some nice pages, a very nice artwork, pretty well colored, but somehow just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just grasping at straws here. But it doesn't seem quite as effective. I think my battery is going to die, so I will stop this recording.